Agala? Halachas Agala?
No. Seder Leil Pesach. Afa Pisha B'chol Shabbos V'Yontev. Kadesh. V'lechem V'Bayayim. In other words, before there's real Zman of, there's the actual Zman of Shabbos, but you could be Moisef, the Haisim Mechara Kodesh. Which means to start earlier. Of a Pesach, you can't start the Seder earlier. Lefi shemitzvah achilas matzah hi dafka b'layla. K'may korban Pesach. Iksiv bei v'ochas abosa b'layla hazeh. V'chein mitzvah abba kaisis hi dafka b'layla. V'kiven shagam ha'kaisha kiddush hu achas me'arba kaisis. One of the four kaisis is the kais of Kiddush. V'chein therefore mekachim acher v'adigayla. This has to be tzedek achavim. Yilbush as a kittel, if you're wearing a kittel. V'yisyashev al mashavay, and just sit down on his place. Last is a seder.
Why? I know we don't wear a kittel, but is there a reason why they wear a kittel? I know that is it
why they wear a kittel? I think that the reason is because being that it's a big yontif and everything, they shouldn't get carried away with the yontif and forget about that you're still living by Elam Hazeh. So it reminds you the Yom Misa. I think that's the reason. Now this is a very big problem for Chabad houses, especially I think in Eretz Yisrael, they don't change the clock till after Pesach.
No, I think they changed it already.
They changed it already?
I think they said they changed it already.
But there was once a time when they didn't change it after Pesach, in order to accommodate Yidden with the Seder night.
Early, it should be earlier.
Now that we changed the clock, like we might have quarter to 8.
Until you start to
and which means to say next week it'll be a little later. And then there's Hallel also. So you'll first get home, Masama, about 8:30, and then you first have to begin to making the Seder, and you expect to have the kids up and everything, you know.
Chatzos is what time?
What?
When is Chatzos?
Chatzos is not a problem. Chatzos is about 1 o'clock. Chatzos is not a
Chatzos is
problem.
not the issue. The kids are starting late and the kids
Kids go to sleep.
Yeah. So that's why he goes on to say over here, he's giving, he wants to deal with the problem. A mitzvah, l'chalik l'tinaikes, shkedim v'agayzim v'kedayim, to give some time. You can't give candies. The candies are chametzik. So they give shkedim and agayzim. Shkedim is almonds and agayzim is nuts.
The mashgiach says that's enough kosher Pesach candies.
Yeah, today, yeah. K'dei sheyiru shinu v'yisharu. And you want to keep them
asking questions,
keep their interest, you know. Vayidei until then, yisayru l'wishal gamkein al matzah mora v'seiva. So the also ask later. They don't see the matzah yet. The Seder didn't start yet. He's saying that being they get into the atmosphere of asking questions, so they'll start asking questions. V'tinik v'tinaikas, that means a little boy or a little girl, shegil l'chinuch, which means that they're talking about 6-7-year-olds. The Hainu, Shen Yodim Mekdushas Yontev, Mavinim Marsha Masapa Yitzias Mitzrayim. Noisen lahem gam kein kais sheyishtu mimenu. And neigen was a kais achas yaisim min subim. The kaida oisa kaisha Eliyahu Hanavi.
Over here, it seems like you do that in the beginning.
So the truth is, the shaila is taka. When should you make the kaisha Eliyahu Hanavi? So some want to say taka that the kaisha Eliyahu you make at the beginning of the seder. There's some say that the kaisha Eliyahu you make after benching, before you open the door for Eliyahu. So then you, and our minhag is that we do it before benching.
It's interesting, my brother once told me in South Africa, he went to someone's house, it was 3 days before Yom Tov.
No.
He was a very wealthy person, he went to be Mechirus Chametz, and the table was already set with fancy silverware and everything, and everyone had a place card, and at the head of the table there was a place that said Eliyahu Hanavi, and they had a seat and a setting for him and everything.
Very nice. So he goes on to say, Mishosai Echem Mibnei Beisai Yimzugu Es HaKaisis. Now, the question, what does the word Yimzugu Es HaKaisis mean? Pasha the Itaisha means to pour the wine. But that Yimzugu really means to mix the wine.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, Amol Gezeiten,
Very strong wine.
the wine was too strong. So it was a whole job for a butler to mix the wine, like each one, according to how strong you want your wine. Today, some take wine that's 3-4% alcohol, some take wine that's 12 or 14, some take 20. So the Rai says that Amol Gezeiten, they had this thing of mixing, of knowing how to mix the wine. I think that's what it means over here. So, Mishosa Echa B'nei Beisa Yimzugu Es HaKaises V'chein B'chol Pam Shemoizgim Yimzugu Heim Boihu B'atzmai.
It's interesting that it says it like this. I told this before, that by my father's say there was many times there were people who were not religious people who came to the Seder, and oftentimes we used wine that was not mavushal.
Not Mishal.
Yeah, and there were people that were not religious at
That's
the
a
table.
big problem.
So my father used to say this. He used to tell everybody, tonight we're all kings, and you're all going to sit, and my children are going to pour for you the wine.
Oh, okay, all right.
That way, no one ever touched the wine. And the wine he would put into a kento, which is either silver or
Yeah,
was
but
a
you
dark
get people
color.
sometimes that are curious. They want to see what type of wine you're using. Could you show me the bottle, you know?
Yeah, that could happen as well.
it's a
But
big
that
problem.
was his line. He used to tell them, "You don't have to do nothing. You sit. My children will put the wine in their cup for you."
Today, most wines are mavushal, especially the imported wines. How come there's people that say that real wine drinkers that can say they can sense the difference between mavushal and not mavushal? I don't know if it's true, but yeah.
Sure, yeah, sure.
Some people are mehader.
Kedega harais, derech chayres. It's all also an Indian of chayres. V'yazel uvnei beisai, and he should instruct. Yazel means like to warn him. Should instruct the family. Sheyishtem v'kol kois v'chol pochos es haroiv b'pam achas. He should drink the roiv. Now, let's see what he has over here. Rabbeinu Kosov, the Ho'ika Shaddai B'Roiv Revius, El the Taiv Rochosh Lishes Kol HaKois. There's a shaila. The Rebbe talks about the Shulchan Aruch. That one opinion that should drink the whole kais, one opinion is that you should drink a roiv of the kais. Well, we say a roiv of the kais depending on the side of the kais, not a roiv of a revius. That's much more. Like a regular kiddush cup is approximately 7 ounces. So a roiv of that would mean about 4 ounces. A roiv revius means if the revius is approximately 4 ounces, it means to drink 2 ounces. I mean, so it's a lot. There's a lot of different things. There's a lot of different things over here. So he says over here that he said Rabbeinu Kosov the Ika Shaddai B'Roi Revius. The Ika Zach is
I need it for iPhone 14.
we don't look at all. We don't look at all at the kais.
Buy another one. I'll give
We're
it back. Give it
interested
back. It's the box.
in a Roi Revius of the kais, which means 2 ounces. Ella, the type, this is all quoting from out there, the type lachas, lishas kala kais, to drink the whole kais, which means
I'll give it back.
how much, regardless how much it is, to
How
finish the
large
whole
a cup
kais.
is, still drink the whole
I'll
cup.
give it back.
Ubim kaimes, shayayin biyaika,
If it's too expensive,
Die,
go on to
die.
I need it for iPhone 14.
beribu. But he says, umikais revius, there's no shayla. Yishtu revius b'pal machas.
I'm sorry for all your
Now,
words.
the reason is because over there you have to make a bracha achrayna. And if you didn't drink a revius, you don't have to make a bracha achrayna. So in order to make the bracha achrayna, that's why I said they should drink
That's by the last cup.
a revius. Yeah. Now he says, Avudina Shasia, he said another prat of it. He said he should drink the whole kais at one time. He said, V'dina Shasia b'pam achas hu echatchila. Aber b'di'eved, afilu hifsik, kama bam b'emtzoi, yotze is yotze. In Roshah, mitchilas hashasiya, atzayf yetze, midei achilas pras. It depends. If we know that by eating and by drinking, there's a share of achilas pras. Now, there is a shayla in halacha. What is the share of achilas pras by drinking? In other words, by eating, we know that it's a certain amount of eggs, which is approximately 7-8 minutes. But drinking, some want to say that achilas pras is the share of a revius, so which means like 2 minutes. Yeah.
Very short time.
But we'll play with Makel. We'll play we paskin that also by drinking, also the share of achilas pras. So if someone is just sitting and sipping the wine, so then it could be a shayla. Then he goes on to say, this is all that you're instructing the family or the guest that we have kulu mitzvahs alba kaises, the sipi tzis Mitzrayim, vachilas maso umara. All these things is the mitzvahs of the night. And you're stressing over here kulam. All why? Ki gam anoshu chayavas v'mitzvahs elu. Rak v'aseva eino hagas. They're not a minhag by a seva. The truth is, there are. I think that Rebbe brings the Shulchan Aruch that there's places where they had isha chashuva that everyone sat by seva. They sat the.
Is the reason a seva is not because it's not sneeze or?
Yeah.
Then he says, Yasa Kiddush, Kakosa Bagada, V'yishta B'asevish Samo, and she drink the cup reclining on the left, V'taibim Efsha, Laska Dasa Paiskim, Lishas Kaish Lema B'chol Alba HaKaisis. So now he's going not to suffice with a Raiv Vriyas, and not to suffice with a revius of the kais, but regardless of the size of the kais, we're talking about the drinking the entire kais, and that is our minhag.
That's them kleine koises. That's them kleine koises. Those side mehr revius und sei sie mit basacha. Sei kula kois alle drei dagen.
Yeah.
What's the minimum share? 4 ounces?
What was that?
The minimum shear, the smallest cup, maybe 4 ounces.
No, that's the size of the cup.
Yeah, that,
But if you have a cup
You have to
of
drink
4
the whole
ounces and you drink 2 ounces, you're yoitzer. Because the 4 ounces is the revius. It's revius means revius means a quarter. What does it mean a quarter? It's a quarter of a gug. A gug was like a container. So it goes according to that size. So the revius is a quarter of the gug.
he said.
Achakach, after that,
Wie viel das Schiff nach Revis bekostet?
was?
Können wir wissen, das Schiff nach Revis, sein genug zu sein Revis.
If it's more than 4 ounces, it's a revius. He later,
Ja, aber
Lady-
Boys, da steht Boys, ja? Stimmt das nicht?
yeah, later he talks about
Das Effekt auf den Boys und die Kost. Wie können wir wissen, dass es da Revis? Steht da, 2 ist Boys und 2 ist Boys, meint es da Revis.
he talks a little bit later by the share of Kezias. The share in halacha has to do with fingers. In other words, that means what's the pshat the share with fingers? How much water the fingers replace. In other words, you fill up a cup, and then you measure the water. When you put in the fingers, and you measure the water, what came out, and that the share about the vias.
Does it depend how big someone's hand is very big, so
That's this average. I mean, that the Chacham already measured and decided. Achar kach yechas yodav, v'lo yivarach aleim. Now this is the part that's known as uruchatz. Now the Indian of what's the Indian of uruchatz? The Indian is because it's a din of tibui b'mashka. Tibui b'mashka means that if you have vegetables that are wet and you touch them, so Mizmana Beis HaMikdash, they will become tummy. And so that's an Indian to avoid the possibility of, so it's called a srach truma, because we're concerned what will be when there will be actual truma and people have to be betara. So being that our minhag is that we try to do things that will sort of puzzle the children, because we want them to ask questions. The idea of the asking questions is the question keeps them aroused, it keeps them awake. So that's the end of this uruchatz, because we're going to wash the hands, and they know that when you wash the hands, you have to start eating, right? And they can see over here that you wash your hands and you don't make a bracha, and you're not eating it. So it's right away, it's very strange to them. So Mela doesn't, now there's a shayla really, the way it says over here, and it says over here in the footnotes, when it says achakach yechas yodov, he should wash his hands. Now, this Rosh is mashram that only the head of the Seder washes his hands. And so he added over here, Hainu kol b'nei abayis, shekulam tzriach l'lit l'yadayim l'fnei tibul zeh. But this is Rav Dafka. It's not necessarily that's true. I found the Fedish in there's a sefer on Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. There's a sefer called Madane Shmuel that someone made. Europe should have made a sefer, and he brings over there that there's places that only the head of the table washes the hands.
Maybe he's the one who is.
Now the idea is. And when I once spoke about it, for a group of shluchim, there was I don't remember who it was, but the shul told me Mamash he saved I saved the show. I saved the show. He says he has a seder of 150 people, and to tell everybody not to go wash their hands, they got to get up from the place and get back to the place. They get everyone back, and it's late at night, and everyone's waiting for the Knedlach, you know. There's no Knedlach in Lubavitch, but everyone, yeah, the truth, they make Knedlach out of chicken. They make chicken Knedlach.
My brother had a Mekudev, he was Mekadev him to Yiddishkeit,
Yeah.
but he came very from it, but he dropped everything because Pesach is too hard for him.
No, what many shluchim do is that they explain that now we will do the ritual of washing the hands. Not that everyone's going to go wash their hands. We'll do that used to be in the time of the Beis Hamikdash. They need a certain purity, and because of that, they couldn't touch something that was wet because it became a conduit to bring tumor, you know. But today it doesn't apply. In fact, the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch says that Bisman is there people that don't do it. Yeshem Ami Lismach. There's people that
Even in the
not every,
it says
not, so if you medayik over here, if you medayik the Loshen,
Over here we do all
Bachach Yechatz Yodov, and someone told me that this is a very popular thing by the Yekis. By the Yekis, only the head of the and the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch lived in Germany, so
that's where they got it from.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very common.
He's saying also the karpas. He's saying also the karpas.
Right.
In alle Strecken die Scheile,
It's good. Yeah.
Why
Okay,
can't you
aber
use
ja, Loche darf
forks?
man das doch nicht waschen.
Not the matter of the fork.
is
Still,
the
even
moment
if it's
it's
done
a guy
then you don't touch it.
If the derech is to be table, then you wash it.
Die weiß nicht von die ganze
Umenagvom, and then he dries them. And v'choytech min ha-karpas, v'atzmoi, u'chol b'nei basic. Gives everybody, u'chol ha-pochos megazayas. The reason he says pochos megazayas, because then there's a question about a bracha achrayna. The truth is, even if you ate more than megazayas, you don't have to make a bracha achrayna. You can rely on later. But the Gatchula, you should try.
Dat mag maar gaan, dan geeft ze met een bakken, maar dan moet ze weer
But that's the nicht.
Is mekarim for the morning or something.
Dan vatten de morgen später, mag nog eenmaal.
In fact, they told a joke that there used to be in Morgenzeiten, there used to be Automobilite that would travel around from one place to another, and there was a special hegdish, a special home like near the shul, where the people that the collectors would stay over there. So there was a group of Yidden that were collectors, and one of them was a guy. And he traveled together with them, and they kept telling him about Pesach night, Pesach night. It's not like you ever saw before, and everyone's preparing him, building him up, for Pesach night. No, it comes Pesach night. In the shul, they used to assign the Armalite. This will go here, this will go here. And they sent him to one of the houses, and he played along. He played along, and because he knew that there's supposed to be a big meal coming, So first thing, he sees the kiddush. He liked that idea very much. He had a glass of wine. Why not? He liked that very. Then he comes to the chatz. So he was very happy because he knew that you have to wash your hands before you eat. And he sees that after the chatz to wash your hands, they give him a little piece of onion. So he was very disappointed, but he figured something's wrong, And then they talk and they talk and they say and they talk and they talk a whole time. Finally, they go wash their hands a second time. He said, figured now, Ms. Hammer, he's going to have it real good, So they wash their hands second time, and they give him some matzah. He starts to break his teeth on the matzah, and and no food, And after that, they gave him more. And he eats the mora, and he spits it out and said, "The heck with you, as a guy, and he ran out of the house. When he came back to his friends. He was angry at his friends that they misled him. They told him to expect a big meal, and they were talking about the big meal that they had, and the place that he had, there was no meal. They did, you know. So they said, Ivan bleibt Ivan.
Noch
Okay.
ein paar Minuten.
Goy bleibt der Goy.
Vetter Berg Rosenberg ist ein Gast. Ein Gast, man hat doch gesagt, das ist ein Gast. Sie kommen zu Hochratz, haben sie gewaschen und er gehabt die ganze Matze mit der Keire. Er hat alles gegessen, bei dem Hochratz. Er hat alles gegessen. So, guck uns, wann soll man Ratzen? Die Donner, die macht Hochratz, hat jeden Essen. Ratzen, er hat alles gepinnt.
Yeah.
What's halachically or minhag about everybody having a kaida?
What?
Everybody having a kaida.
Kid is a good-
That's our minute.
If your child